Hey there, everybody. Happy Wednesday, happy January 20th, and happy Inauguration Day. We made it. If anybody else feels like this is the actual new year, I'm right there with you. To me, it's a new day, it's a new beginning, and it's a new live stream. So thank you so much for joining me. I am Beth Demmon, a San Diego-based beer writer and journalist covering the craft beer scene here in the capital of craft. Thank you for joining me for the happy hour at home. We do this every single week, 4 p.m. Pacific time. So wherever you are, thank you so much for joining me. We will be checking in with a couple different San Diego-based and far away based people in the alcohol and fermented beverages industry today. So the first guest we're going to have on is My Yard Live up in San Marcos, huge sprawling space, and we are going to be checking in with them. Then we are going to be talking to a new face and new person for me, Ayden Cox at Brew Coxy. She is somebody who is basically stuck in Southern California, who has done some collaborations, including one with Creative Creature here in San Diego recently. So we're going to just check in and get kind of the vibe from Ireland to San Diego or to Southern California and see what's up with that. Then we are going to have Desperados Brewing up in North County on again. And then we're going to wrap things up with a not beer person. We're going to be checking in with Kové, Kove with a little dash, Yerba Mate. I think it's Kové Yerba Mate. I think I'm saying that right. I don't know, but I'm sure they'll correct me and it'll be great. So we're going to check in and see what the hard Yerba Mate scene is like. And I think that's going to be really interesting and kind of weird, but sure, it sounds cool. First things first, I did tease a bit of an announcement for this week. So it's the second week that we have done Happy Hour at Home for 2021, but it's actually the second to last week that we are going to be doing the Happy Hour at Home. So when the Guild started this in late March 2020, it was to help support the local San Diego craft beer scene and the San Diego Brewers Guild members, and just a way to connect the community with the businesses as COVID was just getting started. And now it's like 10 months later, and I don't think any of us expected it to go on this long. I certainly didn't. So we are not saying goodbye, but we are saying this is the end of season 1. We're going to take a step back, recalibrate, reevaluate what would be most helpful to San Diego Brewer Guild members, because that's really what we're here to do, is to support the local San Diego craft beer scene above all. So please, I'm sure you'll see me again. Please be sure to continue following this account. This is going to be the most up-to-date information for San Diego and the craft beer scene in general. And you can see me on The Delighted Bite is my personal Instagram handle, and follow the work covering craft beer that I am doing. But yeah, so next week is going to be the last week. I'm really appreciative to everybody who has come on, who continues to tune in, who has just supported the Guild in any way, shape, or form. So it's not goodbye, but it's certainly see you later. But before we go too far into that and start bringing on the first people, we obviously cannot be doing this without a beer. And I've got one from Pure Project because they're the shit and I love them so much. So this is a smoothie style sour ale with blueberries and peaches, I believe. Let me just double check. Blueberry and peach, called Opaque Dreams. And honestly, I love drinking out of a can. I really should be drinking this out of a glass, but I didn't actually grab one, and it's sort of too late for that, because it is a really beautiful, like, deep fuchsia color. And it's okay, so it's really good. I've had one before. It definitely doesn't taste like beer. So that's just kind of like off the top. It's just like a buzzy smoothie type thing. But it's really good, and I'm gonna crack it open right now. And hopefully everybody is joining me with cracking open their own beers. Be sure to comment below with what you are drinking or what you are kind of vibing on right now. 6% ABV, like, it dangerously drinkable, like super dangerously drinkable. It's really good. Yeah, I mean, Pure Project, they know their shit. I mean, it's just ridiculous how good it is. They're a 1% for the planet company, super sustainable, just really putting out some epic stuff. So embrace the Merc, embrace the smoothie sour ale with blueberry and peach, because yeah, I mean, I think I could accidentally drink like a lot of these, and that would probably not be ideal, but maybe it would be great. I don't know. So anyway, I'm gonna continue. Yeah, like I just want to crush this because, like I said, it tastes like a smoothie. It does not taste like beer. Like the fact that there's 6% alcohol in it is absolutely shocking. But other couple bits of news before we bring on My Yard Live. Obviously, I mentioned this is on behalf of the San Diego Brewers Guild. If you would like more information about the Guild and what we do, what services we provide to local independent craft breweries in San Diego and beyond, please do visit sdbeer.com. That is the website where you can sign up for the newsletter, access resources, shop for merch like my dope shirt, support your local brewery. There's a lot of great stuff on there, especially merch. I mean, a ton of shirts, masks, the whole 9 yards. It's pretty sweet. So be sure to check it out for both retail pleasure as well as getting the most up-to-date resources in a constantly changing world, to say the very least. There is also a job board listed on there, so please do check that out if you are either looking for a job or looking to list a job in the San Diego fermented beverage scene. I know that there's places like Boochcraft and stuff like that who are not necessarily beer, but are part of the local craft alcohol beverage scene. And so we do encourage anybody to, anything tangentially related, go ahead and pop that on there. So sdbeer.com, again, is the website. Please do check that out. Check out the job board, check out the merch stuff, check out the Guild mission, and stay tuned for other things that we will be planning for the future after we don't do this live stream after next week. But be sure to check in next week because I'm going to try to line up some, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see who we can get. Everybody who comes on is great, but we'll see who we can get for next week. But in the meantime, the one last other little thing that I want to plug before we bring on the first guest is the Hops and Harvest Beer Dinner pairing series with Miho Catering. And every month there is a rotating, there's a different brewery that they do a partner beer pairing dinner with. Totally virtually, you pick it up, you eat it at home, the whole 9 yards. Totally safe, totally socially distant. This is a really great way to kind of have your cake and eat it too. You can support breweries without exposing yourself to COVID-19. I see you places that are open, not loving it, but I'm not going to go too far into that. But you know what? Wear your masks, pick up the food, participate. It's so good. It's always 4 courses. It's always epic beer pairings. Miho is just like one of the best, if not the best, catering game in town. And so this Friday is Athletic. So for all you non-alcohol beer lovers out there, that should be a really interesting one. February 5th, Belching Beaver. February 19th, Ruler. Excuse me. Oh my God. February 5th, Harland. March 19th, Border X, and April 2nd is Alesmith. And thank you, Paige. You can also get it delivered. You don't have to pick it up if you are looking for something a little bit more convenient. So please do go to sdbeer.com to check out the Hops and Harvest beer pairing dinner series because there's a ton of great ones coming up. I did the Pure Project one. I mean, I just cannot say enough nice, wonderful, great things about it. So, real quick, if you are watching this, and obviously you are because we're talking anyway, it is interactive. Please do feel free to chime in with a comment, with a question. Keep it civil because otherwise I'm just going to skim right past it because I'm the host and I can do whatever I want. But in the meantime, let's bring on My Yard Live and start the real deal, the real show of it. So I'm going to just scroll through My Yard Live. If you're on here, I don't see them, which is not great. Real quick, if any future guests, so Ayden, Dos Desperados, or Kové, if you are watching now, please do make sure that you are on mobile and not desktop, otherwise I can't add you. So I don't see My Yard Live on here. If you are not on the My Yard Live official Instagram account, and you're going to be the one that I'm supposed to talk to, please make yourself known because I only know I only know the My Yard Live Instagram handle. So if you're the one that I'm supposed to talk to from My Yard Live, please, you can request to join my screen if that's easier. Otherwise I might My Yard Live joined. All right, I'm gonna grab you right now. So hope you're ready because we are going live. 1.5, 1 3/4. I'm gonna bring you on. Join me. I'm so glad you made it. Except, don't make me drink this whole beer while we're waiting because that would be embarrassing and also really easy because it's really good. So My Yard Live from North County, we are waiting for you. I think you should just be able to accept my request and then we'll be like chatting with one another and we can kind of connect. There we go. How's it going?
Hey.
We did it.
Woof. That was a tough one.
That's all right. That's all right. You believe me, we've been doing this since last March. Like every single technical difficulty that could ever possibly happen has happened. So you're totally good. How you doing today?
Good. We're just starting to crack open a beer. Cheers.
Cheers. What are you drinking?
So today I'm drinking, let's see if I can do this, Shagtastic Voyage, which is our medal award-winning barrel-aged quad.
It's always a good time for a quad, let me tell you.
That's what I'm talking about. So our brewer's name is Shaggy, so this has been a beer that he's been working on since we opened, so we're pretty stoked about it.
That's awesome. Well, since this is the first time we've had you on the live stream, and most people probably know who you are, but I would love if you just gave a quick intro of who you are and a little background on My Yard Live.
Sure. My name's Jamie. I'm one of the owners of My Yard Live. We are in San Marcos. We're a 17,500 square foot facility, indoor, outdoor brewery, brew pub, restaurant, games, activities, live music, live entertainment. We opened our doors July 2019. Mm-hmm. So we were open about 9 months prior to this craziness that's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, super excited to be part of the community. We were in event production and organizing prior, mm-hmm. And did a lot of beer events, a lot of wine events, a lot of food events, and decided to kind of open up a one-stop shop event 365 days out of the year.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, I've been to the space. It is absolutely gigantic. There's arcade games, there's outside lawn games, there's tables, there's like, it is gigantic. And so, I mean, you have a huge space. It's totally unusable right now, which sucks balls, but hopefully that changes soon.
Sucks balls is a good way to put it.
Sucks balls is a good way to put it. There's no pretty way to say that this is just a crap time, but I mean, have you been able to brew anything or plan for the future or anything to just kind of keep you guys going, or just kind of what's the status right now?
So we obviously shut down in March, kind of reopened, shut down, reopen again, did that whole deal. We decided about 2 weeks prior to the governor's last announcement about the whole ICU connection, that kind of thing, mm-hmm. That we were going to go into hibernation. Mm-hmm. You know, we're very micro, we're very small, and 99% of what we produce gets sold on site.
Right.
To go beers as well and that kind of thing. So, mm-hmm. You know, for us, unfortunately, we don't have that distribution outlet at this point. Mm-hmm. Something that we're working on and something we're pretty excited about for the future.
Yeah.
But we do have beers in the tank. We are selling beers to go. We're selling kegs to go and all that good stuff now.
Nice.
So a lot of our regulars are coming in to do that, which is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's on a kind of a appointment basis, if you will, at this point. Okay. Yeah. So if you're interested, you can contact us through the website, through Instagram, through Facebook, and we'll set something up. You can come out and we'll set you up.
So what are some of the things that people could pick up for to go right now? Like what kind of beers do you have available?
So right now we have pretty much all of our beers available. Again, on the website, you can kind of see a whole menu. But we have everything from West Coast IPAs to hazies to, of course, Shacktastic Voyage. Um, we just kind of unbarreled an aged imperial stout called Baba Yaga that I had a chance to taste the other day, and it is something special. It's 14% of amazingness, really great, drinkable imperial stout, great body. We're unfortunately we're sitting on a lot of stuff because of the shutdown.
Mm-hmm.
We're kind of going through it at this point.
Well, and that's, I mean, kind of an interesting thing for consumers right now. It seems like a lot of companies, you have the time, space to do either like lagers that take forever or like the barrel aged stuff that takes forever.
Yeah,
So like,
for sure.
opposite ends of the spectrum. But I mean, even just the beers you just named, that's a huge kind of diversity of styles and approaches. What would you say, Maillard Live's beers you're known for? Maybe some of the top stuff that has just really seem to kind of talk to the community, like the stuff that people like the best.
Yeah, so it's interesting because with the opportunities, I say opportunities to shut down. I think we, along with a lot of breweries and restaurants, have the ability to kind of circle back and
Mm-hmm.
and kind of reorganize and say, who are we? What are we? What do we want to do? What have we done well? What do we want
Right.
to do better? And so that's some of the opportunity, and actually some of the opportunity that we're sitting down now and having a discussion. The first 9 months, the first year for us was putting out a bunch of styles and saying what works, what doesn't work,
Right.
what hits the brand, what doesn't hit the brand. And what we found is, you know, our kind of demographic, our folks are really interested in drinkable beers, just
Mm-hmm.
easy, sometimes low ABV, really drinkable lagers and pale
Mm-hmm.
ales and pilsners and that kind of thing. And
Uh-huh.
Shaggy does really classic beers really well.
Yeah.
I think some of the things you're going to see us moving into is like kind of those classic styles, but maybe those classic styles like updated a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
We have a pool noodle pilsner that's on, and it's like one of the coolest, one of the best pills that I've had, and of course I'm biased about that. But this, to your point, this gives us time to get some really great lagers in, which we plan, and just kind of some really drinkable classics like
Mm-hmm.
Needed is what you could look for in Maillard Live.
Which makes sense because I mean, right now you can't come and sit down, have that brew pub experience, but that, I want a burger and a pilsner, not necessarily a burger and a quad. Like a quad is when I'm at home and like I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah,
Like that's my Netflix and chill with the
that's
quad.
it. That's it.
So that sounds cool. But where can people keep up with Maillard Live? Newsletter, social media. What's easiest for the community to keep up with you?
Yeah, Facebook, Instagram are probably the two top. It's just Maillard Live, at Maillard Live. And we update the website. And if you're connected, you want to connect with us, feel free to shoot us an email. We'll add you that email list and keep you linked up. And fingers crossed to everyone out there and working the hustle and making things happen. We have empathy on both sides of,
Yeah.
of what's going on, and
Mm-hmm.
we have plans probably to stay closed until we can open our full concept. So I
Yeah.
know that's kind of a unique take on maybe what some people are thinking, as far as soon as outdoors open, as soon as indoors open. We're really to the point now where we've opened and closed and the market's just not whole, that
Yeah.
we're going to stay closed until we can do what we do, which is open up entertainment and live music and the whole thing. So we're probably shooting towards April to kind of reopen the doors. But
Wow.
when we do reopen, you're going to see a new Maillard Live, new layout, new games, new activities, that kind of thing. So we're using this downtime for some exciting times. So
Well, we at the Guild certainly wish you the best and can't wait to have you have your doors open again and have a pint with you. So thank you so much for joining me today. It was great to check in with you, and cheers until next time.
Cheers. Thanks so much for having me on. I'm glad we could connect. Sorry for the delay.
Not at all. You're all good. Have a good one.
You too. Take care.
You too. All right. All right. That was the folks over at My Yard Live. And I'm sorry, I don't know if you guys can hear. There's like a police helicopter right outside my window. Yeah. San Diego, am I right? But anyway. All right. Let's keep it going with Brew Coxie. I'm so excited. We're going to meet for the first time. IRL. Just kidding. Not IRL. That's the opposite of what this is. Virtual. This is going to be great. Hey, happy Wednesday.
Hi, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Sorry, I'm kind of sideways, so I don't have any like fancy equipment. You're just kind of propped there.
I wish I could show you my extremely not fancy setup. I turn over a mug and then I hold it in place by putting my tape dispenser in front of it. So like it's very low budge over here.
Sideways if I go this way, or am I right up?
No, you're still sideways.
Okay.
You were fine earlier. I thought it was kind of like a cool little like Leaning Tower of Pisa type situation.
Very avant-garde.
Very avant-garde. So anyway, so we've corresponded online. This is the first time we're meeting face to face, but why don't you just give a quick intro of who you are and what you do?
Okay, so I am a brewer I'm technically from Southern California, but I moved to Ireland about 3 years ago to do my master's degree. And my master's is actually on, it's an anarchist perspective on workers' control in craft beer.
We need to talk more.
Yeah, so it's like a kind of a Chomsky-esque exploration of craft beer within the context of just Ireland.
Mm-hmm.
I think it poses opportunities for rethinking our relationship to labor and stuff like that. So that's why I moved to Ireland. But most of my brewing experience is probably there because my first apprentice brewing job was actually at Beer Works in Boston.
Mm-hmm.
And then I moved to another brewery. I came back right before I went to Ireland, and I actually teamed up with a couple of the brewers at Karl Strauss who took me
Mm-hmm.
I needed more work on recipe development.
Mm-hmm.
I've got some ties to SoCal brewing scene a little bit.
Nice.
But yeah, so I did my master's degree, and obviously that involved me going all over Ireland. Like I've traveled the breadth of Ireland through public transport, and my focus was on the workers, and it's mostly men who were working in Ireland. I think I'm one of like 3 women on the island who brew beer. Maybe there's more now.
But I mean, even more than that, like it needs to be a lot more than that to not be like, oh my God.
I know. So we've got a growing number of breweries. Obviously, COVID has been really hard for us, particularly in the north of Ireland. So my brewery, I'm going to do a little plug for my brewery right now. Heaney Brewery, which if you guys were watching the inauguration today, there's always like Seamus Heaney poems being.
Mm-hmm.
So Seamus Heaney is one of my friends who owns the brewery. Susie, that's her uncle. And so we're actually on the Seamus Heaney farmland in Ireland, which is really cool. It's in the north of Ireland in a place called Balahi. So there's like cows right outside the brewery, which is really cool.
Love it.
Yeah. So that's a little bit of background. It's my boss, Mal, wanted to figure out what he could do with the family land, basically, because no one's like a trained farmer at this point anymore, and he wanted to do something for the wife and the kids, like so that they have something for posterity, if you will. And I think that kind of reflects itself in like our attitude towards beer. Like we tried to promote, obviously the pandemic led to a lot of people like staying home and drinking, and especially in Ireland, because we like properly went into lockdown.
Yeah.
We never had tap rooms in Ireland. They're actually not legal there still. So we're in a very different boat. Yeah, and I'm back in California because I needed to renew my visa. So COVID has me stuck here. Yeah, so I was like, okay, well, I'm not working right now. I'm a little stressed, but I've been able to do a couple collabs. So the one in Boston with Remnant Brewing, which was a farmhouse style saison. And then more locally, shout out to Creative Creature, Brian Kelly was awesome. And he was like, yeah, I've never met you, but you're a friend of Doug's. So like, come in, let's do a brew. So we're
cool.
Yeah, so we actually did a Mexican Irish Imperial Lager.
What?
I know. So it's going to be in barrels, actually. Brian, I don't know if Brian's on here or not, but Brian is picking up the whiskey barrels today. So,
oh, cool.
Pretty stoked. So in 6 to 8 months, guys, like, you'll be able to try it.
Gonna get crazy with an Imperial Lager. That's wait, so did you come back before COVID or like?
No, mid-COVID. I came back mid-COVID. So I've been back in the States. I did like a little bit of quarantining in Boston. So that was when I did my collab with Remnant, and that collab was called Guerrilla Radio, and Style Stays On, homage to Rage Against the Machine.
Love it.
But I was kind of quarantining there. I had a friend who had some pretty serious health issues, and then I came back, and I've been kind of looking for like a side job because I need to like go back to Ireland, but the visa's in limbo right now because of lockdown. So yeah, I'm a little bit stuck in San Diego, but if anybody wants to do a collab, we're down. I think it's been really interesting for me to compare and contrast the two industries between Ireland and California, like San Diego. Yeah, is the taproom culture is like when I come home, usually I come home about once a year to like hang out with my parents around Christmas. Taprooms are like what we do. Like I drag my parents, I drag my sister. I'm like, let's go have a beer at a taproom, support local. And now it just seems like there's this huge hole where in Ireland, it was kind of the opposite. We've always been bottles, and we just got a canning line. Like, we actually did really well in terms of sales during the pandemic. So yeah, it's an interesting comparison.
I'm just like, I could listen to you all day. I'm just like, that is so, I mean, talking about labor, talking about the difference of like drinking cultures internationally. I'm just like, yes, more.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry that you're still on bottles, because like that train has left the station. Like,
well, so we just got a canning line. We got a wild goose. Can I get a whoop whoop? So I have not had to like deal with the like it got delivered. Like I think literally the day after I left, my boss dropped me off at the airport, and he's like, I kind of hate you right now.
Oh yeah, I don't want to work on the canning line. I just want to drink canned beer. Like been there, done that. I'm good.
Right here, plug for Alex and Three Weavers.
Love them.
But yeah, like I was laughing when you opened the Instagram live because I was like, I always drink my beer out of a can. Like
I know this one is just so pretty that I like to make an exception. But even the picture that I posted of this on my Instagram was like, I know that my glass is dirty. Like I know that I've got that soap scum in there. Like I know the dirty glass mafia is gonna come for me. So like I'm just gonna.
This is like sacrilege, but honestly, it's a holdover from my punk days. Like I grew up like just drinking PBR at punk shows, or Mickey's, which also sacrilege, I know.
Well, I mean that's just gross, but like cool. We've all played Edward 40 hands. Like no shame in that game when you're not 35.
Right.
I got a beer the other day. Like I had to. It was just like a thing to know that I still could terribly, but could. But so I mean I feel like you and I are going to talk more after this. I see Sammer is watching, and thank you so much for connecting us. He's the greatest person ever.
He was just hanging out when I was brewing, and he was like, oh hey friends, like I know one of the marketing people from Jack's Abbey on the East Coast. Absolute favorite East Coast breweries. And you know, like I don't know how many gingers with tattoos are in brewing right now, but it's kind of like, oh, I recognize you from the gram sort of thing.
That's so cool. That's so cool. Well, where can people follow you and your beer journey?
Okay, so my beer journey, I'm still an academic. I am in the middle of switching PhD programs, but I will be going back to Ireland to continue brewing until I start my next PhD, long story. I focus on borders and colonialism and stuff like that now, but I'm still brewing. So if you guys want to follow me, it's Brewcoxy, which obviously they probably can see me. But my brewery in Ireland, which I'm very deeply invested in terms of like, I love this brewery. The people who own it are my friends. Mal is like just as far left as I am in terms of like evaluating how we're going to go forward as a brewery, how we're going to treat people who are working there. Yeah, so I'm really deeply invested in this brewery. It's Heaney Farmhouse Brewing, and I think we're just Heaney Brewery online.
I think Sammer dropped it earlier. Heaney, Heaney Brewing, I believe.
Here, I'll type it in for you guys.
Awesome. Well, while you're typing, I think we're going to have to say cheers and until next time. But it was such a pleasure checking in with you. Thank you for coming on and giving us a little insight into you and what you do. And I'm sure we'll chat again soon. Have a great rest of your day. And thanks so much. Good luck with everything.
Thanks for having me, guys. I really appreciate it.
All right. Cheers.
Bye.
All right. That was at Brew Coxie giving us a little scene or a little, idea, a little peek behind the curtain in the Ireland brewing scene, which is fascinating, and I will be following up with her to get more information. But until then, we're going to bring on local Dos Desperados from North County. Thank you for requesting. Hello.
Hello. How you doing? Can you hear me?
I hear you just fine. Can you hear
Perfect.
me all right?
I sure can. I got my headphones in. We had a bit of a T-bone accident out in front of the brewery, so there's sirens and all that, so I had to put the headphones in and hopefully cut out that sound. So
I've got a police helicopter directly over my house right now, so I think it's not too loud, but whatever, it's fine.
Typical Wednesday.
It's just a Wednesday, it's just a Wednesday. But why don't you? Because we've had Dos Desperados on before, but this is your first time joining us.
Yes.
Background and intro of yourself and what you do at the brewery.
Well, I'm the sales manager at Dos Desperados. So generally, these days I'm a lot in the tasting room, obviously, because doing a lot of to-go sales and that kind of stuff. Because I'm not selling a lot out to restaurants and bars right this second. So yeah, it's been a bit tough. So I'm basically the head guy in charge of coming up with new ideas. I've got all the ideas on how we're going to get beer out and, trying to figure out what our next step is. So that's basically what I do.
Well, so just in terms of people being able to access your beer, we're not able to drink on site quite yet. And frankly, I haven't even heard a hint of when this might end. So who knows? But I mean, what are some ways that you are helping, mitigate or just navigate this right now?
Well, we've had a couple. I mean, obviously packaging beer like everybody else in the world. We've been trying to can, bottle as much as we can, that kind of stuff. We actually did get just a new little mini bottler that we can do right off our drafts to do some of the stuff we don't do in cans, so we can offer mixed six-packs directly here from the brewery. Try to get some of those beers out that we don't usually have go out. We've done a lot of work with HR departments. That's really been one of the big things I've been proud of is I have a lot of friends that work in HR, and especially in March, April, May, when this really took off and people were really stuck at home, we had a lot of HR departments going we're stuck at home, but we have these meetings every Friday. Would you be able to come out, deliver beer to their home so we can do a happy hour Friday? So we started doing it with one company, one of my friends, and we delivered to 60 of her employees across San Diego. She spread our name around, and we've been doing those kind of ever since. So it's a lot of work. Got to drive around to, you learn about a whole lot of new roads in San Diego. That's for sure that you never knew, even being here for 30 or 40 years. You learn a lot of places where you never knew existed. So, we've been doing that. That's kind of been the big thing we've been doing, just new ways of trying to get the beer out. I think that's what everybody's doing, is trying to rack their brains on, how do we sell liquid? It's basically it.
Well, and has dry January cut into that at all, or have you? People are just like, fuck it this year. I'm still drinking.
Well, I'm always a big fan of dry January. The wife and I do it every year. I've taken a halftime break, obviously, today. That's what we're thinking. This is, it's also new again to be shut down again right after the holidays, and to have it be shut down and then have people still trying to get on their health kick and do their dry January. I hope a lot of this slowdown is because of that. And, hey, everybody do what you got to do to be healthy. No doubts about that. But in February, please come drink again.
Yes. Yeah. So I have never done dry January just because I tried one time when I was getting married. I was like, what's a really easy way to lose weight without doing anything? I'll just stop drinking. Yeah, I made it a week, and then I was like, please, God, I need a beer. But, and I mean, fingers crossed by February, things might be open a little bit more. I mean, I'm just looking at, schools opening and things like that. So, who knows? I mean, it's so hard to say. I feel like...
Got to pause there.
we're overdue for an update from you know, the politicians upstairs, but we'll see.
Yeah, well, you know, and you know, however long that that lasts is always kind of a interesting thing as well. I mean, tomorrow there's a big court case with, you know, I mean, depending on how you look at it, our friends, our enemies, the strip clubs are going to have a big battle off in the courts tomorrow, and maybe we'll get another 24 hours of being able to be open or not. I don't know. I don't know how scientific that is on us being open and safe, but you know, I guess you'll take the 24 hours. If
it's
you
weird.
Get it.
Right. Well, and it's so funny that like the strip clubs have been like on the vanguard of like, we're small businesses, like we're the ones leading the charge, and I'm just like, hey man, God bless you, love you so much.
Absolutely. Well, I've been lucky enough. I have a friend who her husband's actually the general manager of one of these said strip clubs, so I get a lot of the inside track on the info coming out. So as soon as I know, I'll let you know. I'll send you a message.
I like.
Well,
I like
when you've been
that.
around,
I like that. I like knowing the inside.
Well, I have a bone to pick with you though, anyways, because so when you're as old as me and you use words like moxie, you get the inside track because you get connections.
That's okay. I called somebody ma'am the other day, like to get their attention, and they looked at me very weirdly, and I'm just like, do people not say ma'am anymore? Oh.
I get that all the time. I do it all the time. Sir, ma'am, you know, raised properly, you know.
Right.
Sorry
like,
about being polite.
I'm from Virginia. Like, I thought we said ma'am, but I guess not. So, whoops. But, so, I mean, for people who come in to get stuff to go, what do you have available right now?
You know, we're lucky enough that we, you know, Ayden brews some great beers. We do everything across the board from, you know, the trendy hazies and all that kind of stuff, all the way. I mean, you know, we won the bronze medal at GABF for a Belgian quad. So,
right.
You know, we have a lot of great beers, and we offer them anywhere from, you know, 22s for our barrel aged, you know, 22-ounce bottles for our barrel aged bourbon stout. We have 22s for our Belgian quad. We have 4-packs of our hazies and that kind of stuff, but we have 32-ounce crowlers like everybody else. And this new 12-ounce bottling thing that we're going to have going on with the mix pack should be a really fun thing to do and try to get people to come in and, you know, they can buy a 6-pack or a case, you know, if they want to pre-order a case and, you know, hey, I want to try, you know, 2 of every one of your beers. Hey, no problem. We'll give a case for you. We're doing that kind of stuff. We're still trying to have our food vendors come by, do to-go orders with them. You know, we have Copper King's Burgers this Friday. We're going to do to-go thing with them. You know, $20 gets you a crowler and a burger. You know, try to help them out too. You know, small businesses got to stick together, and we got to do whatever we can to stay in business and stay afloat till we get through this thing.
Absolutely, 100%. I love bringing in that other aspect because food trucks, I mean, that's kept people, when you were able to do on-site and you had the meal requirement, I mean, talk about just a totally symbiotic relationship and totally necessary. So that's very cool of you guys to keep them on. I love that you are the second person out of 3 people that has brought up a quad today. I'm sensing that I need to bust open a quad later today.
Belgians are making a comeback. They're making a comeback. We always say that, but I hope they make a comeback. I love them. You know,
I also love them. The last time I went to Deft, I picked up a single, a double, a triple, and a quad, and I'm just like, this is my dream. Like, absolutely. Well, let's get the public to know that the Belgians are coming back, and then we can have a lot more Belgians instead of just IPAs and lagers coming out of San Diego. I'll see what I can do. Real quick, where can people follow Dos Desperados, social media, or anywhere else? Where's the best?
Social media is basically, you know, Instagram, Facebook. You know, always sign up. We have an email address and your website where you can sign up for our emails. Right now, a good way to follow something. I'm going to sneak this in real quick. I'm working with Shannon down at Burning Beard and 5 Suits and Thorn within the Weeds. Follow In the Weeds. We're trying to post as much. We're doing some real cool social media stuff right now. Got some videos that are going to come out. We really need to get the word out to get people to come in and get those items they need for their household: food, gift cards, services. We have this stuff. The outpouring of donations it's been heartwarming and wonderful. It's been something that I can't thank people enough for how much they've given. But now we're sitting on this stuff, and we need to get it to those people. So we need to get it to those people. We need to get people to know that it's okay to need help. You don't have to be embarrassed. You don't have to be proud. Come get it. Go to 5 Suits. You know, come to us at Dos Desperados. Go to Burning Beer. Go to Thorn. Take advantage of it because it's here to help you guys.
Excellent. In the Weeds Hospitality Aid. Find him on social media and start to participate. Thank you so much for that plug. Love to end on that note. Thanks for joining me, and cheers until next time.
Hey, cheers, Beth. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you. All right, that was Dos Desperados. And yeah, like you mentioned, In the Weeds Hospitality Aid. I think it's primarily on Facebook, but they should be very easy to find. Be sure to check them out if you need a little bit of help, if you want to give a little bit of help. Whatever you can do obviously makes a huge difference, and we here in the San Diego beer community are here to help one another and support one another. So we certainly appreciate Shannon at Burning Beard taking the initiative on that, and everybody else who has participated and kept up with it. So we are going to finish things up though with our friends in the other alcohol beverage industry. Let me see if I can find you. Uh-oh, I don't see Kové on here. Kové Yerba Mate. If anybody knows where they're at, just go ahead and shoot them a message. Oh, there they are. I see you. Never mind. Got you. We're adding you now. Love it. Hey, how you doing?
How's it going? What's happening?
Hey, thanks for joining me. Cheers.
Of course. Cheers, guys. I have two things open right now. Obviously, some Kové Hard Yerba Mate and also some Tread Lightly from Thorn. So a little bit of double action going on right now.
We're into the whole Thorn thing because I know that you guys just did a brew day with them, but I feel like that's jumping ahead. But I would love, since this is your first time with us, why don't you give us a quick intro of who you are and what Kové Yerba Mate is?
Of course. Well, my name's Josh Mackler. I've been in the industry brewing for a long time now. I've actually been, I actually mainly focused on doing alternative beverages. So I was one of the first brewers over at Boochcraft a while ago, back in 2015, 2016. I ended up also working with Nova Brazil a lot, kind of helping them with some of their alternative stuff. They started with Nova, and then I was also on the founding team of Juneshine, and was their founding brewmaster, helping them develop all of their recipe stuff. Exactly. So a lot of alternative beverages. I've worked with, a few different other hard kombucheries and stuff, doing some consulting stuff, and also helped Thorn a little bit. But, all that has kind of led to now us, creating and developing Kové Hard Yerba Mate. So talk to me about what that is and what kind of inspired that, because I feel like I've seen in the last 2 months or so, like there's 2 hard yerba mate places that I just personally am aware of. But I mean, alternative beverages are making a huge play in the alcohol beverage space. So talk to me about what kind of inspired it and where you're hoping to go. Yeah, the inspiration comes from, and personally, myself and kind of where I've been brewing is not really being a fan. I enjoy kind of the seltzer nature and the whole idea of the lighter beverages. I've never been a fan of, kind of the mainstream hard seltzers and the use of natural flavoring, fake sweeteners, all that kind of stuff. And so really it's kind of led me down this path of trying to create an alternative alcohol beverage, but using, real ingredients and being transparent about what we're using. That was kind of the main focus of what I learned from working with Boochcraft and Juneshine and creating these high quality alternative alcohols. And so that's kind of all led into now the development of my own brand with my partners. And, here we are with Kové Hard Yerba Mate. So kind of a explanation of what we're doing here is, we're making a hard yerba mate based tea. And then we are adding sugarcane, fermenting that out, and doing some different flavorings with real natural ingredients. We're working with completely organic ingredients as well. Organic juices, spices, herbs, all that stuff, making a ton of different flavors behind that. So that's kind of been the story. It's been a lot of different learning outlets, and working with a lot of different people to kind of lead to this creation of this. And we're super excited to bring this to market and kind of develop ourselves a little niche in this hard yerba mate kind of aspect and the alcoholic yerba mate, because we saw there was a break kind of in yerba mate and guayaki and all these other brands have kind of really, filled up the NA kind of department for it. And they've gone national with what they were doing. And so we saw the idea that we could, potentially say, why can't we put alcohol in this? Why can't we, make something real from this and develop this? And so, that's where we're at now.
Well, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I mean, it looks like all of the current offerings you have are all organic, gluten-free, vegan, and 5%, which is that nice kind of like, it's not totally session, but it's not like, 10% or some of that higher ABV that you often run into when we're talking about alternative beverages.
Yeah, we didn't want to go, we wanted to kind of hit that mid-ground. We wanted it to be light and crushable, but we didn't want to be too light and, go like 3-4%. And so it's just kind of something that's just like a filler alcohol, right? And, for us, we didn't also want to really care that much about calories. Our beverages sit around 110 to 120 calories per can. And we realized our focus wasn't, we don't need to hit that 100-calorie thing, like everybody's trying to hit those White Claw, hard seltzer, 100-calorie type things. For us, it was, I still want to make a, good tasting product that has, like the right amount of alcohol for enjoying a sip, in a beverage. And, just have good flavor in it with real ingredients. Our stuff has real sugar in it. They sit from 0.5 to 3 grams of sugar for 12 ounces. And I'm like, it's real sugar, I'm not adding stevia. I'm not adding erythritol, those fake things, because here's what you're getting, so.
Yeah. Well, and talking about the different types of flavors and things like that, what are some of the offerings that you currently have that people can find?
So right now we have 2 beverages that we're offering in our line. We have a mojito flavor, and then we also have a mango colada flavor. And then coming in the next few weeks, launching in February, we're going to be doing a passion fruit blackberry and a lemonade iced tea. Ooh. So it's going to be a kind of round out our group of cores. I'm really excited about the new ones. And then we will also be having some specialty offerings. We're deciding whether we want to do it in some 16-ounce cans or stick with the sleek cans we've been doing and kind of see what we can do. So,
where can people buy this stuff?
We have a locator on our website, and it is all around San Diego. We did a pretty good job filling up Central San Diego since we launched just before Thanksgiving in 2020. Nice. But, we're growing aggressively and expanding as much as we can, and we're trying to get it, as far throughout San Diego County as we can. But if you look at the locator on our website, which is www.hardyyerbamate.com, you can find out where we're at, and we're in about almost 75 accounts in San Diego.
So first of all, for SEO purposes, phenomenal use of the URL. Great job there.
We're stoked on that one.
That's a really good one. But you also have the Thorn can with you, and it looks, just from my little lurking on social media, you just did a brew day with Thorn. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, so we're actually have a nice little kind of alternating proprietorship partnership with Thorn, in which we're going to start brewing our products here exclusively out of Thorn's facility. They have, a little excess capacity here and some space in tanks. And I've been very good friends with the Thorn guys. I've worked with them in the past. And so we were able to make a really a fun partnership on a lot of levels, and kind of work together, that we were able to, kind of find the space here, and it kind of vaulted us to the next level of capacity. And so we were actually, to be transparent, we were pretty close to working to sign the one of the igniter spaces, the brewery igniter spaces. And I was actually talking with Dennis O'Connor, who has been kind of a mentor to me, and I've worked with him a lot in the past, learning some of the stuff on the business side of brewing things. And he kind of brought us in here and said, like, we have some space, let's work together and, work on this. So.
Perfect. Yeah. The brewery igniter stuff is definitely a blessing and a curse, but if you can get in there with somebody who's also willing to grow with the rapidly expanding alternative beverage scene, that just seems like a win-win. So kudos to them for bringing you on, and kudos to you for being able to partner with them. But where can people keep up with you on social media, or is the website the best? Is there a newsletter? Where can people keep up with what you're doing as you grow?
So yeah, you can follow our social medias, which is Kové Yerba Mate. Our Instagram is Kové.Yerba Mate. You can follow our website, www.hardyyerbamate.com. And then, we're trying to start, some more content, and that's going to kind of come with this year as we start to get ourselves settled in this new facility. And, we're ready to kind of grow pretty fast and fill up the San Diego market.
When can we expect to see this Thorn Brew Day, the latest batch of stuff coming out?
That's going to be coming out just at the start of February, and that's going to be the 2 new flavors. So they'll follow up our other ones that are already in market.
Perfect. Well, we certainly look forward to that. Thank you so much for giving us an insight into this, new and growing business, and we look forward to checking in with you again in the future.
Of course. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Cheers, guys.
All right. Cheers. All right, that was Kové Yerba Mate brewing out of Thorn Brewing, which is just frankly smart for everybody. But that is it. Like I said, this is the second to last week, so please, please do be sure to check in with us next week, Wednesday, 4 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Eastern time, right here at SD Brewers on Instagram Live. I don't know who we're going to have on yet, but I'm sure it's going to be great because it's great every single week. But until then, please do reach out either here or on my personal Instagram at The Delighted Bite. As always, my name is Beth Demmon. I'm on behalf of the San Diego Brewers Guild. Thank you so much for commenting, chiming in, lots of hearts, lots of love, lots of engagement today, which I super duper appreciate. That's great. But in the meantime, until next week, remember, Black Lives Matter, drink local independent craft beer, wear your masks, and be cool to one another. Cheers until next week. Thanks, everybody.